cameras, electrical fences, bomb-resistant doors, agent security. How many of those listed anti-theft solutions can be applied to your own apartment? Surveillance cameras, hard locks, alarms, and perhaps the luxurious Chihuahua dog of your fashionable neighbor. Burglar preventing is not in its infancy anymore. It's another definition of an arms or intelligence race. The more resources we allocate to our security system, the more powerful their weapons, the deactivating tools will become. So what is the perspective of mine? We gotta be trickier than the wrongdoers and make their tools become obsolete. Breaking into a specific destination, dedicating a significant amount of time analyzing the camera's positions, the habits of those generous owners, and the distance between the thief's working place to the nearest police station will be high on the agenda of a professional burglar. A weapon of mystery is a thing which can be concealed from our eyesight and simultaneously has a vital strategic role, not just a stopgap measure. And that's the first advantage of our device, which will be demonstrated. Imagine one day you're alone and trying to fulfill your own impossible mission, breaking into a house and steal a USB containing all of the business secrets of 3M, which is cautiously stored in a safe. We have already succeeded in disabling the infrared cameras, alarm system, etc. And you just cavalierly walk into the CEO's house, wondering about the most high-end breakfast you enjoy the next morning. Beneath your feet, come to your attention is the magnificent tiles design, and you start to take admirable steps. Mission completed, and your crew has been waiting for you outside. Gleefully that you walk home. On the go, in the back of the truck, calling your boss, informing about your mission. Suddenly, you realize that you don't have any accomplices, and Google Map is directing you to the police station, which is not supposed to be right at all. And the word you're holding is, sadly, you haven't double-checked if there's any data inside. Those mesmerizing tiles are exactly the idea of ours to act as a deterrent from crime, exploiting the force of the criminal steps, millimeter by millimeter. The tiles will be submerged. Eventually, the two surfaces of 3M's electrically conductive tape will be connected. It's also the tape that makes the tiles floating. If the Nighthawk steps on, close the circuit will be. The signal is then sent to an app which describes his exact coordinates. Just one simple Arduino Uno circuit to help determine the status of the switches. The result of the operation will be displayed on an app like IDE as 0 and 1, but it also can be indicated as a whole coordinate in those cute little tiny red dots. Either on laptops or phones, the application can easily recognize who is who, activating the camera system, alerting, or even starting a backup power supply for a timely response. And just like a rat looking for tasty cheese, he's done. You then go and flick the USB. The person on the bed that he's been observing is just a clone of yours. Let's examine some of the fortes, perhaps disadvantages of the available criminals tackling solutions. Animals, good observation, no device error spotted of course, and in time informing. However, if it's hungry, sleepy, falling in love for another dog, or the thieves put it into loss of consciousness, the similar thing can also happen to humans, as we also are living creatures. Infrared cameras, night observation, recognition, and alerting with high accurateness. But the criminals don't go into your house without being informed about an ugly dinosaur with sharp vision always gossiping its bosses. And if they shut down the circuit breaker, it will be a hearty party. Being a lot aesthetic, perhaps having excellent camouflage, with the tiles as a result beloved by the ones who follow minimalism. Being able to determine location and track directions to know whether he's a robber or not. And maybe you want to see a line of red dots, the way he's been through, rather than a whole low resolution clip. Furthermore, some kinds of circuits use household electricity input of 220 voltage via a converting tool, but they also can use their independent power source, which leads to the fact that it's possible to work hours on end. In contrast, we have to acknowledge that the system is not so labor-saving. Keeping the two surfaces tidy is much sophisticated. Right after embarking on this idea, sarcastically, phone was robbed. I don't know if it's possible, just forget what I've been saying to have less anxiety. And hopefully you don't have to use measure with demonstrating